Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of the Beauty Connective podcast. I'm so excited because today we have with us Morgan Tucker. She is a nail tech instructor and now owner of Luxe, and we're going to talk all about business today. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
So excited. So tell us a little bit about what got you into the beauty industry, how you started, everything like that.
It's honestly so funny because I would have never thought I would be in the beauty industry. Literally ever. I grew up very tomboy-ish. Never really cared about like hair, makeup. I'd get my nails done sometimes for dances or do them on my own, but it was never something I was going to pursue. I was always going to go to college. I was going to do something in the medical field.
Oh, dang.
So it came honestly from left field, but once I decided to do it, I'm so glad because it's way better than being in the medical field.
Oh my gosh,
opinion.
yeah. So you had a whole separate plan.
Yes, totally. I went to UVU and I went and did 2 years, then decided I was going to go and do dental hygiene school.
Okay.
Because I did assisting in high school and I really loved it. Did all the prereqs, everything, was getting ready to apply, and it didn't feel good to me anymore. So I had to start again from the scratch. So I just decided to pursue doing a communications major since I did all of the hard medical classes. I wanted them to actually count towards something.
Yeah.
And while I switched over, one of my really good old coworkers, Peyton, she does nails now. I feel like she's like the OG of nail girls. Yeah, shout out, Painted by Pate. And so she started nail school, and she actually had gotten me to go to her nail girl, Nails by Sammy. Shout out. And I fell in love with it. They were like, you're going to love it. It's so fun. Do all the designs. And I was like, that's just so not me. There's nothing I have that's like, I'm going frequently to beauty appointments or anything. But I was like, okay, whatever. I'll give it a try. And I fell in love with it. Even though I went to Sammy, I never was like, oh, I could do this as a job. Until Peyton was like, I'm going to nail school and you should come be my client. I need clients. And I was like, absolutely. Like, of course I'm going to support you. Went to her while she was in nail school, and I just fell in love with it. And she was like, you should do this. You would be so good at it. And what does it hurt to try? So I applied to the same apprenticeship with Polish by Ashley. And I told myself if I got in, I'm going to do it. I'm already taking a break from college for the summer. So I'll do nail school. And if I don't get in, that's my sign I'm not supposed to be in.
Yeah.
And so I got in, did it, and I haven't looked back. I did end up graduating from college.
Okay, so you did your apprenticeship that summer and then went back to school, finished. What were you like doing nails during that time?
Yes. So I, at that time, was working part-time at Orange Theory while I was in school. But then I got to the point I was working those really early morning shifts and then going and doing nails after. And my boss was finally like, just quit. Jump in to your business. Just do it. So after a couple months, I just dove right in.
Nice. But, did you start out of your house right after that?
Yes. So it was a crazy summer. My husband and I got married that summer, 2 days after I graduated, actually, which is insane.
A lot going on.
And so the place we were living had an extra bedroom, and we decided I would start out there because we needed to save the money. And if I didn't want to stay, then I could always leave.
Yeah.
But I loved it, and I was there for about 2.5 years.
How long did it take you to build up a full clientele during that time?
I feel very fortunate. I honestly think I was full within the first month or two of being at home, which is really nice. Yeah. And granted, that does change. I was a lot slower then, so it was easier for me to be full. And so as I kept getting faster, I could add more clients. But luckily, it didn't take me that long, which I feel bad because it is just so different now.
Yeah. What do you attribute being able to build that clientele so quickly? Was it mainly because you had been working in the salon and like built clientele there during your apprenticeship?
I think it's a little bit of connections. So I had a couple members of my family coming to me. I had a couple random people from my past that kind of shocked me that they wanted to get their nails done by me. That was great. And then referrals, and I was super, super consistent on social media from the get-go. Yeah. And I feel like that's what helped project me into a full clientele quicker. Yeah. And in a way, building my confidence of, okay, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah. Let's talk about the pivot from working in your house and you opening up Luxe. What did that look like for you to make that decision and go for it?
Yes. Kind of funny. once I put my mind to something, I'm going to do it, and it's going to be done fast. And it's
relate to that.
It's a very good thing, and it's a very bad thing at the same time. So it happened about a little over a year ago, and someone had asked me, like, oh, would you ever open up like a salon? And I was like, oh, no, absolutely not. Way too much work, and I'm doing great here.
Yeah.
Like, no. And then a couple months go by, and I was like, maybe I do want to open a salon. I was still loving being at home, but I was really craving connection and community. And I've always been a worker girl, always. Since I was 16, I've had, until nails, and I quit my Orange Theory, this is the first time I've ever only had one job. I've always had 2 to 3 jobs since I was 16. So coworkers were my life. They were my friends. They helped me want to be at work. It was just so fun, and I loved working. And I got to the point after 2.5 years where I have my clients and I talk to them every day, but I was missing the coworker connection and other people to talk to and relate to. And so I just told my husband, I was like, I think I want to start looking into salons. And at this point, I still was not going to open one. I was like, that's not in my books.
Yeah.
And so I start looking around, seeing pricing, seeing layout, seeing community. And genuinely, for at least what I could find, there was nothing that I wanted. So I would go home and I would tell Chase, there's nothing I can find that has X, Y, and Z. And he was like, okay, then start it. Make it. And I was like, oh. So
what were those things? What were you looking for specifically?
Yeah, I was really looking for, again, that community. And I didn't want drama. I wanted it to be very low key. I'm extrovert, but if I would go get my nails done at nail salons that are more of the bullpen, I feel like I couldn't stay connected to the girl doing my nails.
Yeah.
Because I'm worried, like, people over here, they're all talking in different conversations,
right.
And it just was a lot. Even though I am extroverted, I felt like it was just felt too much energy, which is good energy. It's high energy, but it was a little bit overstimulating for me personally. Yeah. And then going to the private suites, I was like, I'm not going to create that connection because I'm next to a hairstylist or a massage therapist or a piercer. And knowing myself, it'd be really hard for me to go next door and just be like, hi, I'm Morgan. Do you want to be friends? When we're like not doing the same thing. And so I was like, I want somewhere that it's only nail techs, and it's more of a private suite, but you still have friends. And so I was like, I don't know where that is. I don't know where to find it. So that's honestly why I created it.
So you were able to find like the perfect space. How did you come across your space?
We had been looking around. Basically, my husband and I's family are all in real estate. And so he started looking for places. We went and saw a few. And once we went into Luxe, I just knew. I was like, this is exactly what I wanted. And so we just made an offer, created like the image and the spacing that I wanted, and we just went for it.
That's amazing. It looked like it came together really quickly, just following you on and seeing your stories and stuff.
My clients were like, why didn't you tell me you were going to open this on? I'm like, I didn't know 3 weeks ago. Like, it was so fast.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have done it if it didn't feel right. But they all were like, you're the worst. Like, why didn't you tell me? That's such a big jump. I'm like, I didn't know. Like, I really didn't.
Surprise to everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it really was so fast. I think we went and saw it in May. And then we signed a week later. And we got the keys in the middle of June. So then we basically had half of June for me to buy everything, figure out what I wanted. And then a couple weeks to move everything in. We opened up July 1st.
Oh my gosh.
So it really was super fast.
So doing that so quickly would have been really risky, because did you already know that you had girls that would come to the suite?
No. I knew I had created community, I feel like, within Instagram. And I just really felt in my bones that it was something that this community needed. And I just felt really good about it. And so it was a risk that we were willing to take. My husband and I, we don't have kids. We're like, if this goes down, it's just us. We'll figure it out. Like, it's fine. So we were like, it's the best time to do it now. I had created community with people online. I had a couple nail tech friends that I had been out to lunch with. I had started teaching education earlier that year, like 6 months before. So I feel like that helped me meet even a few more people, even if they didn't come and work with me. It's just, I knew I could create that connection.
Yeah.
And I'm also not afraid to reach out to people or people that I admire, people that I really love. So I knew, oh, it might take me a minute, but like it will work. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Good for you, because that is risky, and it's so cool that you were just like, this is going to work.
Yeah.
Being confident in that, that's like so inspiring.
Well, it's
that's
like
so cool.
You don't have another option, because if I don't believe in myself, nobody else will.
Totally.
If I don't believe my salon is needed or that it's a good space, no one else is going to either. So it's the same with like work. If you don't think your work is good, nobody else is going to.
Right.
If you don't believe in yourself, nobody can make you believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself.
Totally. And
be delusional. Be delusional if you have to be. Truly.
And confidence like speaks so loud. I think it's so important, especially in this industry when it's so saturated and there's so many people that someone could go to get their nails done.
Sure, because be delusional, and there's no one else that is like you, like at all in the nail industry. And if you want to talk business, being salon owner or like opening a salon, there's nothing exactly like what you have, and there's always going to be a need for it.
Cool.
So
I love that. How have your responsibilities shifted since you've opened up Luxe, and what's that transition been like for you?
Definitely different, but in the best way. I feel like too, especially after like finishing school and I was just working, I was like, oh my gosh, I have all day. What do I do after I'm done working? So it's been nice to have something else to pour into, but they've changed in a lot of ways. I'm definitely more conscious and aware of other people in the sense of I want them to be successful. I want them to grow clientele. I'm always cleaning a bathroom, taking out a trash, checking in on girls, reposting stories, getting people booked, scheduling tours. There's always something in my mind, and there's always new ideas. So it's okay, do I take this idea and do I run with it, or is this an idea I should just sit on for a minute? So I feel like it's just constantly running. But the responsibilities definitely do change. But for me in my salon, at least, with all my girls, I'm always telling them, I don't want to be your boss. I'm not your boss. You are your own boss. You create everything you want. You create your own pricing, your schedule, when you want to be here, everything. I'm just here to provide you space, support, and if you need advice, because I don't want to be anybody's boss. So
that's so cool. And it seems like you've created a really cool community within the Luxe space. I saw that you had posted like a Christmas party that you did and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, that's been like one of my favorite things. I feel like I'm a hostess at heart. I love to host, and I just really love, truly, I love all of my girls so much. We all talk about how we like want to hang out outside of the salon. So it's just extra fun to put on a cute Christmas party. Like when we opened in July, I was like telling everyone, like, I am so excited to put a Christmas tree right here and change out this tree and plan like a really fun Christmas party. And right now I'm planning like a summer pool party.
Cute.
So it's just really fun. And I think if you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong. If you're a salon owner out there and you're like, I hate this, maybe switch it up. Maybe try something new, because it's so fun.
Yeah.
Like it's so fun. It's a lot of work, but it's so fun.
How many girls do you have at Luxe right now?
Oh my gosh, we have 16.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize it was that big.
It's crazy. We expanded in January.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So how much
16.
space do you have right now to fill?
We have 2 open desks for full-time or for part-time, and then I have 2 part-time.
Okay, so if anyone needs
anyone's
space,
looking, come to Luxe.
Go work with Morgan, because
so
you're making me want to come work.
I don't, literally, I'm like, come to us.
Like, should I start
seriously
commuting?
No, literally. We've got girls that commute
fun.
too.
Yeah.
It's seriously so fun. So.
I am seriously feeling jealous. I love being at home, and I love being with my dog and everything. It's not the same as having coworkers and like having people that you're with all the time.
Yes, and it is different.
Yeah. I want to ask you a little bit about becoming an instructor and taking apprentices. When did you decide to do that, and what did that look like for you?
Something I thought would be fun just to expand my business portfolio in a way, but it was something I didn't want to jump right into because it's a really big responsibility. And making sure that imposter syndrome of, do I know enough? Am I someone that's qualified to teach someone? And so I actually started off by doing the additional education courses, which is where I met you. So I offered shadowing, one-on-ones, just to see if I liked teaching. Because I didn't want to take on students and be like, oh, I don't like this. But
Smart.
now I have to be locked in for 14 weeks or 16 weeks. So I did that and I just loved it. I thought it was so fun. It was very challenging and made my brain think differently, which I really liked. I missed that new information or the challenge because I was just so used to my mundane schedule, which is great.
Yeah.
And so once I did that, that kind of is also what really kickstarted me wanting to open up a salon, because I didn't want to take students at my house. So that was a really big reason why we actually opened up Luxe too. So yeah, then I just decided to go for it, took my instructor's exam, started creating my program, and in September I took my first ones. My second set of students just graduated last week.
That, yeah.
Or this week, yesterday.
Yeah.
And my third round start in May.
Oh my gosh.
And I have literally loved it so much.
Yeah.
It is so fun.
I love that you said it's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
Because I feel like what I have seen and heard around maybe just like the Utah community, but apprenticeships are so like, it's almost like anyone can do apprenticeships.
Yes.
And charge a lot of money for them. And they're not really regulated. And so people can get away with not really teaching anything, but making sure that your students graduate, which is like the only, I think, regulation, right?
Like they hit the hours and you're like,
yeah.
Because there's no one coming in and being like, okay, did you teach them acrylic? Have you taught them this? Are you teaching them the right safety protocol? Nobody comes in to check you. I had an amazing apprenticeship experience. And so I feel like I had a really great example from Ashley of what I wanted to create. And yes, there are things I tweaked and there's things I grabbed from her that I love that she did, and some things I changed. But I was like, more people need an apprenticeship like that, because I had heard stories of people like, I just paid so much money. I don't really feel like she cared about me. I don't really feel like I learned what I wanted to learn. Yeah. And so it is a really big responsibility, and I wanted to make sure I was doing well. I didn't want to be doing a disservice to the educators out there.
Yeah. Totally. I was just talking to a couple girls recently who did apprenticeships. They were like, I graduated, but I did not feel confident at all doing someone's nails. And they're like, I only got to do 3 actual people's nails during my whole apprenticeship. And I'm like, oh, no, so that hard. Sucks to have done all that and paid all that money and then be like, now I got to take some more education or do something, get like so much more practice.
Because that, to me, that is the takeaway of an apprenticeship versus nail school. Nail school is cheaper, and in my opinion, sometimes from people I know, I didn't do nail school, so I don't have but isn't quite as hands-on, learning more of what's up to date, what's now. And so in my opinion, you're paying more for an apprenticeship to have a 2-on-1 experience, to really be learning hands-on, be in the salon environment, be practicing on real people, and really learning and diving in. Can someone come and do my apprenticeship and get nothing out of it? For sure. If you don't put the work in, you're not going to get something out of it. But it would be dumb for me to say it's not the instructor's job to provide it as well.
Totally. Set aside time to teach and stuff like that, and not just taking your full clientele and not really setting aside time to teach or instruct at all.
Yeah, like you need that instruction, and you do take clients, but my students know if I'm taking a client and they have a client, they can grab me and they're my first priority. My client can wait 5-10 minutes if they need, but it is really important, and it's important to have that set aside instruction. I make my students come and watch me in a real client appointment. That's also that teaches you so much. I watched my teacher so much, and I feel like that helped me grow. So having a really good balance is hard, but it is important.
Yeah, for sure. So bringing girls into the nail industry from the beginning and then launching them into their careers, it feels like the industry is really saturated. Maybe especially in Utah. I don't know exactly what it's like outside of Utah as much, but inside of Utah. How do they feel entering the nail world from scratch, and building a clientele and everything?
Utah is very saturated with all beauty industry, I think, which I think it's always been like that. I think nails is exponentially going up, right? But there's always been a ton of hairstylists here. There's always a ton of hairstylists, but there's also a ton of people, and most people in Utah get beauty services. So there's always a need for it, but it has changed. And I think it is a little bit more daunting. My students have felt that, like, it is scary. It's a big leap into starting your own career and being fully on your own. But it has changed. It's a lot harder to get clients. It's harder for me to get a new client than it was when I was in nail school and graduating, because there are so many more of us and we're easier to find. Where before, a lot of people when I was in nail school, I feel like that I knew were still going to the walk-in salons. And now people are saying, oh, it's really nice to have an independent nail tech, and almost like a standing appointment with them. So I feel like it is changing. It's not impossible, but you have to work a lot harder. You have to have social media, and you have to be consistent at posting, and you have to show off your work, because that is your portfolio. And I'm constantly telling my students that, like, that's what people see. That's how you get eyes. And yes, even if your video gets you one client, that's one client, and that's one client that might refer their friend and their mom, or their all three of their roommates. So it is so important to just go, even if there's a million of us, like, you never know. There's people that have no idea who I am, no idea who you are, and they know all these other 17 nail techs, right? If we're not posting, they're never going to find us. So I think it's just really important to keep posting, keep believing in yourself, and being reasonable, and not having these super high expectations. You're not going to leave nail school and have 60 clients under your belt, and that's totally normal, and that's totally okay.
Yeah. What's the general consensus about the social media aspect of the job around your salon?
Everyone's so mixed. I think social media is like the funnest and the hardest part of the entire job, just because it demands a lot more than you think. It's a lot of hours. It's a lot of, weirdly, it's a lot of mental. Okay, what can I do next? What's going to catch people? What's going to be really fun? But it is creative, and if you don't think of it as much of a, if you tell yourself, I hate social media, I hate doing this, I hate making a post, I hate editing this, you're going to hate it. You're not going to like it. But think of it more as, oh, I can be creative. I can do something else. But everyone's different at the salon, though. To answer your question, I have girls that are really good at social media, and they really love it, and they thrive. And then I have some girls that are like, I got my full clientele. I'm going to post every once in a while, and that's great with me. So it just depends. And I feel like it just, if you want to grow, like for me, I have my full clientele, right? I'm not posting to get clients necessarily anymore. I'm more posting for extra business adventures and business opportunities. And so it's if you want to have that or not, if you want to get PR, if you don't, if you want to, I don't know, be able to one day open a salon. Right? Like, it's really hard to do that if you had 500 followers.
I know. So, I feel like a lot of it too is like a mental game of just like putting in a lot of effort for a video or a reel or whatever, and then it just not getting any and then just not letting that get to you and just keep going. And I feel like the mental game of that is just a big part of the social media game too.
Absolutely. And it's hard too, because we are so desensitized to social media and the numbers. Like, I'll catch myself being like, I don't even have that many followers compared to this person. And it's, if you are sitting in a room with even 400 people, that's a ton of people. If you have 400 followers, that's a ton of people. So not comparing yourself to other people is huge, but it is mental, and you have to be able to step away and be like, I'm just going to post it. If it hits and sticks, that's great. And usually it's the ones that you don't try. Sadly.
No,
exactly. The other day, I was like, I posted on TikTok, and I was like, this isn't really like an Instagram video. I was like, I'm just going to post. Did so well. I'm like, what? Why do I do that to myself? Why do I limit that? Oh, that's not an Instagram post. Or, this won't do well. Like, just post it. If you like it and you're proud of it, just post it. If it flops, you're probably the only person that knows.
No, it's true.
The second you start comparing, or you're trying to be like somebody else, I feel like that's where you're going to, one, mentally crash out, and you're not going to do as well. People want to follow you for who you are and your authenticity and your creativity.
I know that was like where I had started thinking about having a new platform, or just like a database where people could like search and filter, because especially independent nail techs aren't going to be wanting like Google listings. If they're out of their house, like I'm not going to post my address on Google, but
yeah,
just to not have to do the posting so much and still be able to get more clients, I think.
Yes, which I love, and I'm so excited to have all my girls at Luxe. Having them all get on it, I think is such a great, just to even relieve a little bit of that stress and pressure. Granted, you probably still should post so the people that come from your website can see what your work is.
Yeah, totally.
But to relieve a little pressure, I think it's going to be so great. Yeah, and I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to be so good.
Thanks. Let's do just a few rapid fire fun questions to end the episode.
Okay, I love it.
Most underrated part of your job?
I feel like the most underrated part of my job is also overrated at the same. Like, it's the same, but it's the scheduling. I love that I can schedule whatever I want. If I want to go on vacation for 2 weeks, I can. But then it also like kicks you right in the butt at the same time, because nails is not, it's not like the other beauty industries where if you just push someone out a week or two, they can tell, they can feel it. They want to get in every 3 to 4 weeks or whenever they are. So it makes you cram the week before and the week after if you ever have to miss. So it's the best part and the worst part.
Totally. Oh my gosh. It's so great.
Yeah.
Make your own schedule.
But
you're going to be having crazy weeks around whatever time you take off.
Yeah. And is it so nice? Amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
And so it's so funny. So many people will be like, oh, you're so lucky. You can just create your own schedule. I'm like, you don't even know. It is so lucky, but it's actually one of the worst parts. So it's like it's a battle. It's good and a bad.
Even like a sick day, like taking a sick day.
Oh.
Nightmare.
I think I've taken one half day sick day, canceled 2 people, and I was like, oh, now I'm gonna have to do them on Saturday. And it's hard because once you do something one time, it's easier to keep doing it. If you have your schedule set Monday through Thursday for clients, if I have to cancel and bring them in on Friday, they're like, you can do Fridays. Yes. Now I'm going to ask you to do Friday because I know you can do Friday. And it's no, it's not. That's not what I was wanting.
Yeah.
So it is totally the worst.
Any trends you're loving right now or hating?
Ooh, I'm always a hater of isolated chrome.
Really?
I hate it.
Oh, no.
Hate it. I'm like so rude. My clients will tell me, I'm like, I don't have that. I do that. But I'm going to be brave. The girls in my salon were like, you're being a baby. It's not that hard. I'm like, okay. So one of my goals is to actually figure out how to really do it and do it well. So I hate that.
That's so funny.
A trend I'm loving is, oh gosh, I've been loving pigment things lately. I think those are so fun and yummy. Very blendy. So I love that.
That's so funny. I feel like I'm a little bit the opposite. Pigments and like blending like ombre type of stuff scares me more.
That's so funny.
But I could do isolated chrome.
Like, oh, give me isolated chrome. I'm like, no, that's like my worst nightmare. Everyone is so different. Funny. It just shows. Everyone has their strengths. Everyone has their weaknesses as a nail tech.
Yeah, exactly.
And my weakness is isolated chrome. So.
Is there any one piece of advice that you would give to anyone who's just starting out or wanting to get into the industry or wanting to take the leap, doing the next thing in their journey? What do you tell them?
We've already touched about it, but just really believing in what you do and having confidence and passion, it seeps through more than anything. If you walk into a nail salon, you can tell if you sit down in that chair that your nail tech is confident in what they do or what they don't. So really just being confident in what you can provide and what you can give, and don't limit yourself. I feel like when I went into nails, I had that more of a limited mindset unknowingly. I went in and was just like, cool, I'm gonna do nails on the side, and then I'm gonna become a mom, and I'll quit my other big girl job and I'll do nails once a week. That will be great.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, like nails is a big girl job and it can become whatever you want it to be. And I feel like that really opened my eyes of it's so much more than just painting a nail. And if you want it to be that, great. If you want to just paint nails and that's it, that's amazing and that's beautiful and it's great. But if you want to get brand deals or affiliates, or you want to open a salon, you want to take students, you want to create a product, create a brand, do it. Like, why not?
Yeah.
And so I like don't have a limited mindset and just be so confident in what you do, because you're the only one that can determine what you can and can't do.
Be delusional.
Be delusional. Be delusional.
I will not forget about that.
No, literally.
And tell everybody what's next for you. What's next on the books for Morgan?
Oh, I'm so excited. It's funny because, like I said, I always, when I think of something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it fast.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the year, everyone's like, what's your goals? Like you had a lot last year. 2024, I had a lot. Huge. It was the first year I didn't have school and I just focused on my business and really became like a real business for me. And I told myself my goal of this year is to have no new business ventures, and I'm already failing. So that's really great.
Yep.
But I think my next venture is going to have to do with educating and helping other nail techs take the step and be prepared to become an educator.
Cool.
Because it's something I wished was something I could have had or been mentored in. But I'm trying not to have that, trying to be delusional.
Yes.
Trying not to have that like comparison mindset of you've only done 2 rounds. Like you don't know. And I don't know it all. But I really would love to have something where nail techs can purchase almost like a guide where it gives them a course that they can go buy, change whatever they want, not change what, but give them a good basic of what to teach, how to teach it. A binder. I give my students a binder that's full of great information. So I'd love to have maybe that up for sale, like Zoom calls to prep you, walk through it, what to expect, all that kind of stuff. And then maybe grow onto that, have a website that I can keep adding things to. So we'll see. I don't have a timeline.
Yeah.
But it will be coming sometime this year.
Okay, that's so exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
So exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, tell everyone where they can find you and Luxe.
You can find me at Manny's by Morg, manny's.by.morg on Instagram. And on TikTok, you can find me morgs.tucker. And Luxe, you can find lux.nail.co on both Instagram and TikTok. And there you can book. Girls are accepting clients. So if you are looking for a nail girl in Pleasant Grove, we've got amazing girls. So you can find us there and come along for the journey.
Go work for Morgan. Go to her girls. Go get your nails done.
Work for yourself, but with me.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being here today. This was so fun talking to you. I'm so inspired by just like your drive and
you're so
just
nice.
making things happen.
You're so nice. And I'm so proud of you. I'm excited to see where this goes. It's going to be amazing.
Thank you. Yay. Okay.
We did it.